There is a specific type of professional who buys these 8 gadgets. They are not stupid. They are not careless. They are not bad at their jobs. They are informed. Just informed by the wrong sources. By tech blogs paid to review products favorably. By affiliate links disguised as honest recommendations. By Amazon bestseller rankings manipulated by the brands themselves. By LinkedIn influencers whose entire setup was gifted for free in exchange for a glowing post. The productivity gadget industry does not sell products. It sells the feeling of being optimized. And it has perfected the art of targeting the exact professional who cares enough about their performance to spend money improving it, but has not yet learned to question where the recommendation came from. That professional is about to get a very expensive education. 8 gadgets, ranked from wasteful to genuinely embarrassing. Each one exposed by the data, the engineering reality, and the alternative that costs a fraction of the price and works better. If you own any of these, do not be embarrassed. Be angry at the right people. Let's start with number 8, the Smart Notebook, Rocketbook / Moleskine Smart. The Smart Notebook costs between $30 and $45. It promises to digitize your handwritten notes instantly. Scan the page, the app reads your writing, uploads to Google Drive, Dropbox, Notion, everywhere. It feels like the future of note-taking. Analog meets digital, the best of both worlds. Here is the reality that the product reviews never cover at length. The handwriting recognition accuracy of every Smart Notebook app currently on the market, Rocketbook, Moleskine Smart, Remarkable, sits between 85 and 92% under ideal conditions. Neat handwriting, good lighting, slow, deliberate letter forms. For fast professional handwriting, the kind you actually use in a meeting, accuracy drops to between 70 and 80%. That means between 1 in 5 and 1 in 3 words in your digitized notes will be wrong. A meeting note that says Q3 revenue target $2 million becoming Q3 revenue target $2 million is not a minor inconvenience. It is a liability. The correction workflow destroys the time saving entirely. Scan the page, 30 seconds. Review the digitized text, 3 to 5 minutes per page. Correct the errors, 2 to 4 minutes per page. Format for sharing, 2 minutes. Total time to produce 1 page of accurate digitized notes from a Smart Notebook, 8 to 11 minutes. Total time to type the same notes directly into Notion or Google Docs during the meeting, 0 additional minutes, because you are typing in real time. The Smart Notebook does not save time. It creates a 2-step workflow, handwrite, then digitize, that is slower, less accurate, and more expensive than either handwriting alone or typing alone. It is a solution to a problem that was already solved by the Notes app that came free on your phone. Rocketbook has sold over 3 million units at $35 average. That is $105 million in revenue for a product that makes note-taking slower. The smartest thing about the Smart Notebook is the marketing. The Desk LED Bias Lighting Kit. The Bias Lighting Kit, LED strips that attach behind your monitor, is the most recommended desk upgrade on every productivity YouTube channel, tech subreddit, and home office setup guide published in the last 4 years. It is also the productivity upgrade with the least supporting evidence of anything on this list. The claimed benefit? Reducing eye strain by creating ambient light behind the monitor that reduces the contrast between the bright screen and the dark wall behind it. Legitimate optometry principle, real science. The actual product? An LED strip that costs $3 to manufacture in Shenzhen, sold for $25 to $60 with a Govee or Philips Hue logo on the box, controlled by an app that requires a login, sends your usage data to servers in mainland China, and needs a firmware update every 3 months. The bias lighting effect that actually reduces eye strain requires the LED color temperature to precisely match the white point of your monitor, typically 6,500 Kelvin for a standard sRGB display. Every bias lighting kit sold on Amazon ships with LEDs defaulting to warm white, approximately 3,000 Kelvin, which does not match any professional monitor white point and provides 0 clinical eye strain benefit. Getting the correct color temperature requires manual calibration that the product instructions do not mention, and that 95% of buyers never perform. The eye strain solution that actually works? Your monitor's built-in blue light reduction mode. Night shift on Mac, night light on Windows. Free, already installed. No app, no login, no Chinese data servers, no firmware updates. The Bias Lighting Kit is a $40 aesthetic upgrade with a $0 functional benefit, sold with the credibility of real optometry science attached to a product that does not implement that science correctly. The setup photo looks incredible though, which is why every YouTuber has one. The USB-B hub/dongle premium version. Every professional with a modern laptop needs a USB-C hub. That is a genuine requirement, not a scam. The $120 to $180 premium hub, the CalDigit, the Anker Power Expand, the OWC Thunderbolt dock is where the scam lives. Here is the math that the premium hub industry never shows you. A $180 CalDigit TS3 Plus Thunderbolt dock delivers Thunderbolt 3 bandwidth, 40 gigabits per second, to every connected device simultaneously. A $28 Anker 7-in-1 2-in-1 USB-C hub delivers USB 3.0 bandwidth, 5 gigabits per second, to every connected device. For the actual use case of 95% of office professionals, connecting an external monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and occasionally a USB drive, the bandwidth difference between 40 gigabits per second and 5 gigabits per second is completely imperceptible. You are not transferring 4K video files between NVMe drives through your hub during a workday. You are moving PowerPoint files and PDFs. The $152 premium between the CalDigit and the Anker buys you bandwidth you will never use. A Thunderbolt certification that requires you to own a Thunderbolt-capable laptop to benefit from, which most business laptops are not, and a brand name that tech reviewers recommend because CalDigit sends them free units. The honest recommendation? A $35 hub from Anker or Uni for standard office use. Keep the $145. The only professionals who genuinely need a premium Thunderbolt dock are video editors transferring large files and audio engineers with multi-channel interfaces. If your heaviest peripheral is a Dell monitor and a Logitech keyboard, you are paying the Thunderbolt tax for a benefit that exists only in a spec sheet. The Posture Corrector Wearable. The Posture Corrector Wearable, a sensor that attaches to your back or shoulder and vibrates when you slouch, retails between $79 and $139. Upright Go 2, Lumo Lift, Back Embrace, all marketed to desk professionals, all promising to train perfect posture through haptic feedback conditioning. The clinical evidence for wearable posture correctors is, to put it politely, underwhelming. A 2021 systematic review in the Journal of Occupational Health reviewed 14 studies on wearable posture feedback devices and found that while short-term posture improvement was observed during wear, there was no significant evidence of lasting postural change after the device was removed. You sit up straight while the device is on you. The moment it comes off, you return to baseline. The device is not training your posture, it is nagging your posture, and the moment the nag stops, the behavior stops with it. The actual solution for professional posture is not a $99 vibrating sensor. It is a correctly adjusted chair, seat height so feet are flat on floor, armrests at elbow height, lumbar support at the curve of your lower back, a correctly adjusted monitor, top of screen at eye level, arm's length away, and a movement break every 45 to 60 minutes, which costs $0 and has more clinical evidence behind it than every posture wearable combined. The Upright Go 2 has been downloaded and abandoned by more professionals than almost any other wellness gadget in the productivity space, confirmed by App Store review patterns showing 90% of users stop daily use within 6 weeks. It is not because the professionals lack discipline, it is because nagging is not the same as training, and a $99 device that vibrates at your spine has not solved the biomechanical problem. It has just charged you $99 to be reminded that the problem exists. The Smart Desk Lamp with App Control. The Smart Desk Lamp retails between $60 and $150. BenQ Screen Bar, Elgato Key Light, Govee Smart Lamp, app controlled, scene programmable, color temperature adjustable, schedulable, integrates with your smart home ecosystem. Here is the productivity math. The time saved by having a smart lamp versus a regular lamp with a physical switch, 0 seconds. Both turn on and off in one action. The time lost to the smart lamp, measurable. Setting up the app, 15 minutes. Connecting to Wi-Fi, 8 minutes. Troubleshooting the connection dropout that happens to every smart home device within the first month, 25 minutes. Creating scenes and schedules, 20 minutes. Updating firmware, 10 minutes every 6 to 8 weeks. Reconnecting after a router change, 15 minutes. Discovering the company has shut down its servers, making your lamp a $120 dumb light that still works but can no longer be controlled by app. This happened to Philips Hue users in 2023, Wiz users in 2024, and will happen to Govee users eventually because every smart home company either gets acquired or shuts down its cloud infrastructure within 5 to 8 years. Total time invested in the smart lamp over 2 years, approximately 4 to 6 hours. Time saved versus a $15 physical switch lamp, 0. The BenQ Screen Bar is a partial exception. It clips to your monitor, has no app requirement, and provides genuinely useful screen-matched lighting with a physical dial. At $109, it is overpriced for what it is, but it solves a real problem without a subscription service, a Chinese data server, or a firmware dependency. Everything else in the smart lamp category is complexity theater, the illusion of optimization wrapped around a product that provides light, which a $15 IKEA lamp also provides, without the ecosystem hostage situation. Gadget 3, 1530Y1830, the mechanical numpad / macro pad. The standalone macro pad, a small programmable keypad that sits next to your main keyboard, costs between $40 and $120. Stream Deck Mini, Razer Tartarus, Keychron Q0 numpad, marketed to professionals as a shortcut accelerator. One button press executes a complex multi-step workflow. Sounds transformative. Here is what the MacroPad productivity research actually shows. A 2020 study from the Human Factors and Ergonomics Society measured productivity gains from programmable macro hardware versus keyboard shortcut proficiency in knowledge workers. Result: proficient keyboard shortcut users, people who had learned and habituated the native shortcuts of their primary applications, were 23% faster on complex workflow tasks than MacroPad users. Not slower, faster, by 23%. Why? Because a keyboard shortcut is executed without moving your hands from the keyboard. A MacroPad requires lifting one hand, relocating it to the pad, pressing the button, and returning to the keyboard. The physical movement overhead of using a separate device, even a single button press, is slower than a two-key combination executed without breaking typing position. The MacroPad is a $60 to $120 device that makes you slower than learning the free keyboard shortcuts that already exist in every application you use. Command-Shift-S, Control-Alt-T, Option-Command-Escape. Every application has them. None of them require a separate piece of hardware. The Stream Deck has genuine value for video streamers, managing live scene transitions with no keyboard alternative. For office professionals, it is a $99 shortcut to being slower than you already are. The standing desk converter. Not the full standing desk, the converter. The unit that sits on top of your existing desk and raises your monitor and keyboard to standing height. FlexiSpot, VariDesk, Ergotron. Between $150 and $350. Marketed aggressively to office professionals on the back of a decade of sitting is the new smoking headlines. The clinical evidence for standing desk use is more complicated than the marketing suggests. A 2018 Cochrane review, the gold standard of medical evidence synthesis, analyzed all available research on sit-stand workstations and found that while they reduced sitting time, there was no significant evidence of improvement in work performance, musculoskeletal symptoms, or long-term health outcomes compared to seated work with regular movement breaks. Reduced sitting time? No measurable productivity or health improvement. The standing desk converter makes the evidence worse in a specific way. A full standing desk allows ergonomically correct positioning at both sitting and standing heights, monitor at eye level, keyboard at elbow height in both positions. A standing desk converter raises the entire surface, monitor and keyboard together, by a fixed amount. At standing height, the monitor is typically too low and the keyboard too high for correct ergonomic positioning, because the converter cannot account for the individual height relationships between your monitor, keyboard, and body. The standing desk converter, sold as an ergonomic solution, frequently creates worse ergonomics than the flat desk it sits on top of. A $250 device that creates the posture problems it claims to solve. The solution, with actual evidence: a timer that reminds you to stand and walk for 5 minutes every 45 minutes. Built into every iPhone, Android, Apple Watch, and Garmin ever made. Cost: zero. The standing desk converter is a $250 monument to the marketing power of cherry-picked health headlines, and the brands selling them are counting on you never reading the Cochrane review. The AI productivity device, Humane Pin / Rabbit R1 / Tab AI wearable. This is the most expensive mistake on the list, and the most recent. 2024 produced an entire category of AI productivity wearables, devices that promise to replace your smartphone, summarize your meetings, answer your questions, manage your calendar, and generally act as a physical AI assistant attached to your body or sitting on your desk. The Humane AI Pin launched at $699 plus $24 per month subscription. The Rabbit R1 launched at $199. Tab AI Necklace launched at $99 plus subscription. Here is what happened. The Humane AI Pin was reviewed by every major tech publication simultaneously in April 2024. The Verge gave it 4 out of 10. MKBHD called it the worst product he had ever reviewed. The battery lasted less than 3 hours. The laser projection display was unreadable in any ambient light. The AI responses took 10 to 30 seconds. It overheated during use. Humane shut down in 2024 and sold its assets to HP for $116 million, a fraction of the $230 million it raised from investors. Every Humane AI Pin owner now owns a $699 device whose servers no longer function and whose company no longer exists. The Rabbit R1 fared marginally better in that it still technically operates, but its flagship large action model feature, the technology that was supposed to make it genuinely useful, was described by reviewers as non-functional in real-world conditions at launch and has received limited improvement since. The AI productivity wearable category of 2024 was the single most expensive example of marketing outpacing engineering in the history of the consumer tech industry. Professionals who bought these devices based on launch hype paid between $100 and $700 for products that were either non-functional at launch, discontinued within months, or dependent on subscription infrastructure that has since been shut down. The lesson is not that AI productivity tools do not work. The lesson is that the first generation of any transformative technology category is almost always a product designed for investor decks TEDx and launch event demos, not for the professional desk where real work happens. The brands knew this, the venture capital knew this, the reviewers who received free units and published day one reviews knew this. The professionals who bought them based on those reviews are the ones who paid for that knowledge. The rule going forward: never buy generation 1 of any AI hardware device. Wait for generation 3. Let other people's money fund the R&D. Your productivity budget is not a venture capital fund. 8 gadgets, 8 industries, 8 marketing machines running on the same fuel, the professional desire to be optimized, the affiliate link that makes the recommendation, and the return window that closes before the reality sets in. The most productive desk in 2026 is not the most equipped desk. It is the most intentional desk. A laptop that actually performs, a keyboard worth typing on, a mouse that does not lie about its DPI, and the discipline to put everything else in a drawer. Count how many of these 8 gadgets you own. Drop the number in the comments, and if you want your wallet to thank you, subscribe. New video every week, no sponsorships, no affiliate links, no gifted products, just the receipts.